Right. Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Ayushi, and I'm a student at Newcastle University. I'm doing my master's in international multimedia journalism, and I also co-create and co-run a podcast alongside one of my colleagues, Julia Bringer, and it's called 2 minutes to midnight, and it's a podcast on climate change. And we're trying to sort of like create the space for conversations that are especially solution led. And we're still getting there. We're still in between. We just released our ninth episode and we're going on to our 10th one. So, yeah.
So why you choose the environment topic?
I think environment was something both Julia and I were passionate about when we started talking, because we were thinking of like what to do. This initially it was a radio show idea, right? So what to do it on, and then we came up with like conspiracy theories and women, and sort of like environment did stick a chord with both of us. And I feel like it's been a journey from where we started to where we are right now as well, because like I almost stopped shopping fast fashion clothing items, at least. Like, I mean, maybe like reduce it by at least 70 or 80%, if not completely stopped. And then I was also like sort of like getting into this whole moment of veganism. So I started having oat milk and making changes to my diet as well. And then Julia had done some journalism around the environment before. So I think it was just a good fix. So right now I'm in quarantine and in a hotel, and I have to use like disposable plastic bottles. Like every day there's like a big box of them, and they just keep giving out cutlery when I ask them not to, and there's disposable plastic containers because of the situation we're in. But it's just made me so much more mindful of where I am and what I'm doing. I may not be able to control it.
When the news about news about lockdown happened, how are you feeling about your podcast?
I think since Julia is from Germany, I am from India, and met in the UK right when we began. I think roughly 5 months ago. We were sort of like prepared to be at a point, where we would have to do everything remotely. We just didn't expect it to be very, very soon. So yeah, that was a bit of a shocker, definitely. And Julia went back home first, and I was still in the UK, and then I had to move back to India. So the last episode was on Corona and climate, and we were trying to draw like parallels between the crisis, and it was literally shot, not shot, sorry, edited and recorded and like done over like between like 3 countries. So it was a little bit chaotic, and I think we were prepared for it in some ways, which is why it wasn't as bad as we thought.
Are there any like positives that have come out of campaigning this way?
There are positives, definitely, like out of this crisis, because like I was just reading about it today, and I read it out, like global carbon emissions have dropped down 17% since these lockdowns have been imposed. And it is a climate podcast, so we do sort of see positives. And it has also it's actually a really great time to be reporting about the climate as well, right? Because you're just seeing so much. It's like this little litmus test into what the world could look like. So in some ways, it's extraordinary to be able to create something and report during a time like this, So yeah, there are definitely positives. It is a little chaotic.
Yeah.
One more question. During the coronavirus, there have a lot of changes of the environment. Do you think whether will remind us to pay more attention to the environment?
I mean, again, this is just from my last conversation with Jonathan, bringing me in, because that was the exact thing that we discussed. And I think from what like I feel now, is this could go either ways. Like, I don't know if I can show you, like right now, I wish this is a little weird. Like you can see like an eagle right outside my window, and it's like fluttering around. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It just passed. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, the point is like it could go either ways. It could, if we remember the lessons that come out of this pandemic, if we remember the fact that we like clean air, that we enjoyed listening to birds after years, and we like this lack of noise and traffic and pollution, then yes, maybe, because I think people are exploring work from home. I got a job and it's mostly work from home now. So I think we're sort of moving on to things, and it just depends. It could go either ways. We could go back to our old habits. But I do know some cities across the world, at least 30 that I heard of, are now looking at environmentally, like changing everything, getting more cycle tracks in, because they have to change stuff for the better. So they're trying to do that. But say, for example, in a city like Bombay, where you have like millions traveling by local trains that are stuffed to the brim, you sort of, it takes a much longer time because you don't have the finances, you're overpopulated. So even if you want to make those big changes, your government isn't willing. There are lots of factors into play. But yeah, but cities do have the potential to really, really take this to a very positive front.
Yeah.